What am I still doing here? We're going off script here because we've been on script this whole time. We've never been on script and we'll never be on script again. Please don't hurt me. And that's what it's like in my brain. I got another recipe for you. Banana bread? Yeah. Like a sort of healthy-ish banana bread, I guess. Banana bread. What is banana bread? A highly philosophical question, really. Banana bread is not really a bread, and it's not really a cake. It's, I guess what you might call a quick bread, which falls under the umbrella of muffins and pound cake and stuff. And why am I making banana bread? Well, because one, I like banana bread, and two, my dad keeps pestering me for banana bread. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll have to make some. You feel free to do any mix-ins. The basic recipe should be the same, which we will get to right now. Who doesn't like a good banana bread? Well, we need a few things. Some bananas, preferably the ultra ripe variety. Some sourdough discard, baking soda, some baking powder, just the standard store brand, good enough for me. Some brown sugar, you can use dark or light, you know, one just has a bit more of a molasses type flavor. Any kind of sugar will be fine ultimately. Gonna need some flour. This is all-purpose flour. Some flaxseed. Applesauce. Because we're not using oil, we're going to use applesauce. And that will give us some nice moisture. Walnuts, or another kind of nut, or some fruit. Some dates would also be a good option. Now that we have assembled our ingredients, I think we're ready to put some kind of something together. So first we're going to take 3 of our bananas, and then we're also going to need an extra banana for decoration. Now you can do this in a stand mixer if you like, or you can do it in a bowl. We're also going to need some measury things, fork, and our trusty rubber spatula. So first, let's peel our bananas. Wipe off any errant banana goo that happened to land on your fingers, and then we're going to start squishing them. You may also use a potato masher, but I find the fork is really the simplest thing. That seems quite gooey and mashed enough for me. Now we're going to need our sugar and our applesauce. Now this is unsweetened applesauce. You can use your own fresh homemade applesauce if you have some. I do not. It is not apple season. We need 1/4 cup of applesauce and 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm also going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of ground flax seed. All right, now I'm just going to mix all that together before moving on. And now I'm going to take our sourdough, 1/2 cup. This is pretty liquidy. This is what you might consider discard. And this is going to give some tanginess to the banana bread. It'll just give it a little bit more of a complex flavor. It'll be slightly sophisticated, I suppose. Sophisticated banana bread. It's so smart and posh. And now I will just give this a mix as well. We will probably end up using 2 to 3 cups of flour, but we're going to let the batter decide that for us. So I'm just going to mix in 1 cup at a time. We want to avoid over mixing. We do not want to develop any kind of gluten. This is banana bread, so it's really closer to a cake. So instead of like beating it to death, we're just going to kind of fold things together. Folding literally means to fold. So I'm scooping it up and I am folding it over. And that's all there is to it. And you just kind of keep doing that until you have no more dry bits. So that's pretty wet. And I will also go ahead and add my baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to add a good pinch of kosher salt, so about this much. Salt helps things to taste more like themselves and also helps things taste a little sweeter. So now I'm going to add more flour, about 1/2 cup at a time. So I will mix in this flour. Okay, and now I think this is still a little wet, so we will go ahead and add another 1/2 cup of flour. So we're at about 2 cups of flour at the moment. I don't know if we will need any more than that. 2 might be just the right amount. So this is about the right sort of texture. Still gotta mix a little bit more. Some dry spots. I didn't put in any cinnamon or nutmeg. It is optional. Some people just want plain banana bread. Fresh nutmeg is probably a lot better, but this is what I have, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm going to follow that with just about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. You know, just a wee bit. I think that this is settled, so I'm going to go ahead and put together my mix-ins. So I've got some dates and I've got some walnuts. This is probably a little more than 1/4 cup. This is 4 medjool dates that I have chopped into little pieces. Now the thing about the dates is that it's very, very sticky, so they are all stuck together. So I have a bit of a fix for this. I'm going to put a little bit of flour in here, and I'm just going to kind of coat these in the flour so that they can separate into little pieces. I'm just going to pull them apart. I did chop them into very small pieces. If you're using raisins or cherries or apricots or, you know, whatever dried fruit you want, it may also help prevent your fruit from sinking to the bottom. At least that was the impression I got from the Great British Baking Show. Probably would have been easier to do this in a slightly bigger bowl, but that's okay. You work with what you have. No need to do anything special. I've already put them in here. The bowl is already dirty. I can just live with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle them in. Okay. And also nuts. Again, nuts are optional. Everything is optional. Banana bread is completely optional. You don't have to make it. You could just send someone this video and ask them to make it for you. All you have to do is just badger them ceaselessly until you get what you want. That's usually what happens to me. You're going to need a tin of some kind. This is a, what is this called? A Pullman loaf pan. So usually there's a lid, but I'm not using the lid today. You can also just use a standard size loaf pan, which is about yay tall compared to this. There's about an inch less space. So now what we're going to do is we're going to spray this. It's very important. This is the only oil in this recipe. And you're going to take a piece of parchment paper, and let's see, I think that I will need to cut off a little bit of this. Great, right? I think it's fine. So the parchment paper is going to help the bread not stick to the side. It's kind of like overkill here. We got the oil and we've got the parchment paper. So we're just going to press this down into here. We're going to allow some of it to stick out over the top. So in addition to keeping the dough from sticking to the pan, it will also act as a lift. So when the bread is done in the oven, you'll just lift, and then you can cool it on a cooling rack. I am going to dump all of this into this pan. Scrape out all of the tasty, squishy stuff and put it here. And I'm going to kind of try to fill this in so that it is more or less evenly distributed across the pan. We've got a banana sliced in half. This is going to be our little decoration. So this is pretty simple. You're just going to place one side on here, like so, and then you are going to place the other one on the other side. And it's just kind of a cute little thing. This is completely optional. So now we've got this nice little banana stuck in the top here. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of crush some of these walnuts just in my hand and sprinkle those around. That way people know that there are nuts in it. I like to make sure everyone knows what the ingredients are because I sure don't want to kill anyone. So we've got our bananas and our nuts on top. And now I'm just going to kind of crumble this. If there's a big chunk, I'm going to just leave it. Just big globs of sugar. We are going to set our oven to 360 degrees Fahrenheit, which should be 180 degrees Celsius. And now we're just going to wait for that to heat up. We're just going to put this right here in the center and bake for 50 to 60 minutes. Here we are, the final results. So this actually took an additional 20 minutes or 22 minutes. So I think my total baking time was about an hour and 12 minutes. So now it's time to let it cool. So now you gotta go out and get you some bananas, right? I got you up on that banana bread trend, which we're a bit behind on because according to Wikipedia, that was a bit earlier in the mass hysteria event in 2020. Alrighty then, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe diddly-doo down there doing the thing, yeah. Yeah, those were words. Those were definitely words, and I said them. And you know, like and share too, I guess, or comment. I guess this is goodbye. Secret bonus video. Like I said earlier, if you bother someone enough, they will just make banana bread for you. Case in point is my father. Practically every time I talk to him on the phone, he seems to mention banana bread, which I've made for him before for pretty much the same reason, but this time I tried to make it a little bit more special for him. So this is really the first time that I have seen my dad in probably over a year. I can't really remember, you know, it was definitely since before the lockdown. So I just wanted to pack this up in a cute little piece of fabric that I had laying around. And I'm going to be transporting this on my lap on the train for the next couple of hours. I think we're ready to go. Look.
Oh, you have a
I brought you a present.
What is it?
It's banana bread.
All right. Put it down. Thank you.
Say it like you made it.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're going to go to yours first. Now I want you to get a pitching wedge. You don't want to overshoot the green. Just medium hard. Okay?
Okay.
You done?
No. Here you go. You hold this.
Now, with the pitching wedge, you should be able to loft that up and hit it right on that flag there. Just give it a good old pounce up in the air.
We're just going to do it. Right? Right? I don't know. Right.
You did it. And there it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
It only took about 5 tries, but it...
Now I want you to aim for that flag again.
Alright, we'll try. I think that was 5. I think I have to face this way.
Yep, you have to face that way, and I'm going to film it at 11.
At 11?
I'm at 11 o'clock, yeah. Okay, ready? Just tap it over to that flag. Just concentrate on... Just look at the ball and concentrate on tapping it over to that flag.
You're a terrible cameraman.
I know it. So just do it. You can do it.
Also the wrong way. Oh, okay.
Try and get it up in the air. Okay.
You missed.
So I hit it a little too hard.
That's okay.
But you see, it went right for the flag. You see that?
Yep.
You see what I did?
Yeah.